Hi, first of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Askar Ali, securing 167th rank in Civil Service Exam 2015. I may not be the right person to share something about UPSC, but I will try my level best to share something what I went through while preparing for this exam. First, let me be very frank. There is no such thing called master key for success in this exam. You have to find a particular key. You have to find a particular strategy that suits your personality, that suits your strength, that suits your weaknesses. So let me begin with pre-preparation. Since for pre, they focus on objective questions having negative marking system. So there is a need to focus on precision. So for pre, maximum practice, especially objective questions is the key. But how to begin? You have to begin with standard books, especially NCERTs. Even for NCERTs also, you have to read around 10 or 12 NCERTs like Fundamentals on Physical Environment, Indian Physical Geography, Modern Indian History, Ancient History, something like this. That means when you begin, you have to focus on your foundational basis. That means basic concepts. You should be very clear on basic concepts. You should not focus much on current affairs for pre. So for pre, maximum practice, especially MCQs. That too, you have to focus on precision. For me, when I appeared in 2013, I didn't focus much on precision. Luckily, I saved in 2013, but I failed by 1 mark in 2014 in pre. So that means if you focus on precision, you can easily save 10 marks to 20 marks. But these days, for the last 3 years, in pre, they do ask around 20 to 25 questions from environment. Normally, aspirants, they tend to neglect environment portion. So for environment, please do refer Shankar IAS Academy and around 40 pages on climate change in economic survey. So if you focus on environment, you can attempt around 25 questions very easily out of 80-90 questions. Suppose you attempt 80 questions, 65 questions are correct, and 25 questions from environment if you attempt nicely and all questions are correct, then definitely around 30% is done only with one paper preparation. So please don't neglect about environment. It is very relevant these days. And for mains, especially mains, they do focus on current affairs, especially paper 2 and 3. For paper 1, since they ask on history and geography, more or less they are static. So for this, you have to refer standard books like Physical Geography, G.C. Leong. You have to know fundamentals on physical environment, and then modern history spectrum, then again world history, normal law. So for paper 1, please do focus on static portions, but even in paper 1 also, they may ask questions related with current topics. For this, you can read Hindu paper very nicely. And for paper 2 and 3, since they focus on current affairs, please don't ignore current topics, contemporary issues. For this, you have to read Yojana nicely. You have to read the Hindu newspaper nicely. For this, at least you should use study materials of one coaching institute. It may be GS Score, it may be Baziram, it may be Vision, it may be ALS. So, but when you follow, please do follow for only one coaching institute. Otherwise, it will be very time consuming and you may not be very comfortable. So for current affairs, please do follow only one coaching institute. That is more than enough for mains. And again, for paper 4, even for myself also, I have been preparing ethics for the last 2 years, but I didn't find even a single question in UPSC paper this time, even a single question from my preparation. That means it is just like on the spot, you have to think, you have to write, and you have to reproduce what might be the expected answers. So for ethics also, it is just like an art. It's not just about preparation. So your personality will be reflected in ethics paper. So personality is not only for personality test, even for mains it is required. Even in our day-to-day life, we have to use right choice of words, we have to do good deeds. Suppose if our actions, if our words are not good enough, then definitely that will be reflected in ethics paper. So even while solving ethics paper also, please don't neglect case studies, because there you can score maximum. Rate of returns is very high in case studies. Even while solving the paper also, please do begin from case studies where you can spend enough time. And then these days, even for ethics paper, since the paper is very lengthy, please do maintain speed. Speed is the key for mains, including ethics paper. Again for essay, let me be very frank, I scored only 50 out of 250 in 2013. I failed because of essay in 2013. Now I secured 167 mainly because of essay paper. I scored 238 in optional, but because of essay paper, in essay I secured around 144. That makes all the difference. Last time I failed because of essay, this time I am in because of essay paper. For essay, it's just like an art. It's not about information, it's not about knowledge. Those 15,000 candidates who are appearing in mains, more or less they have the same level of information, same level of intelligence, same level of knowledge. But since essay is about presentation, the only way to score in essay is you have to practice at least 20-30 good essays before mains exam. So the master key for essay is the more you practice good essays, the more you score in essay. It happened even in my case. So please don't neglect essays. Here the rate of return is very high. For essays, while writing essays, you have to give prominent example. It's not just a passing reference. While giving examples, you have to explain in a paragraph. But don't give so many examples also, 2-3 prominent examples in a paragraph. But if you find exceptions, then definitely you have to mention about exceptions. For example, if they ask about judicial activism, then please do explain about judicial restraint. Suppose if they ask a philosophical essay like this, man is born free but everywhere he is in chains. But I don't agree with this statement. Yeah, maybe 80% may be correct. Even for this statement, think the other side. Now, since we are knowing so much about our fundamental rights, with the progress, with the development, we are more free in another sense. That means we are not in chains. So even for philosophical essay, please think the other side. If you can give the other side, definitely your essay will be multidimensional. You can score more. But the most important aspect while writing an essay is the first sentence. So while writing the first sentence, you should take time. You should think 10 times. You should ask a simple question. Why this essay is being asked in UPSC? You should find a context. Otherwise, if you cannot find a context, you can use some famous quotes. Even in my case, for both the essays, I began with quotes, famous quotes related with education, related with technology. So like this, you have to begin. Again, while ending an essay, conclusion is very important. So before beginning an essay, first you should have a draft conclusion. Only when you know where to end, you can start writing an essay. So conclusion is very important, first sentence is very important, examples are very important, then these exceptions are important. More to this, essay is all about continuity. You have to find a balance between paragraphs. You should know how to link between paragraphs. Suppose we know how to ride bicycles. Initially we failed many a times, but at the end we find a particular balance. Because of that particular balance, we can ride bicycles. It is like that in essay. When you write more and more essays, you can find a particular balance. Because of that particular balance, you can link between paragraphs. So this is the only way out for essay. That means you have to write at least 20-30 good essays before your mains, and you can score nicely. Rate of return is very high for essays, so we cannot afford to neglect essays in mains. Again, for personality tests, I also told you before, personality is needed not only for personality tests, it is also needed for GS mains. Because in mains, they ask many general questions, which can be attempted without much preparation also. In such general questions, our personality will be reflected. So don't think after my mains only I will focus on my personality. It is quite easy. For example, if you want to speak, then definitely every early morning you can speak in front of mirror, at least 5 minutes. Then definitely after a month or so, you can enhance your speaking ability. Then even for good choice of words, in our day-to-day life we have to use such good choice of words. Then definitely while writing or while attempting any question, such words will come out. Even in tense situation, even in UPSC interview hall, such words will come. So it will enhance your personality. For personality, you should form a habit. Without forming a habit, you cannot expect much. So while going for personality test, you have to imagine that you have to enter there like an IAS officer. Then definitely you will come out like an IAS officer. That will boost your confidence. You have to be sincere enough. Suppose you don't know a question, then the best answer should be, sir, I don't know. Even in my case, he asked me about stress in physics. At that point of time, I didn't know the answer. I told him, sir, I don't know the answer. He wanted to grill me. He told me, since you did physics from Hindu college in graduation, at least you should know the concept of stress in physics. I do agree with this statement. Yes, sir, I do agree with your statement. But right now, sir, I don't know the exact, precise definition of stress in physics. That means you have to accept. If you don't know, you have to accept. What is the harm in that? You have to be very sincere. But you have to be confident. You have to keep smiling. That will show who you are. So in personality test, they check who you are, not what you know. It's not about knowledge. It's all about confidence. It's about sincerity. It's about a balanced person, a mature person, a disciplined person. So it is easy. It will be easy only when you have a habit. So for personality, please do form a habit. Then it will be extremely easy in UPSC personality hall. Again, for aspirants, how to begin preparation is a very tricky question. I have to answer that. It may not be the best answer, but I will tell you. First, please do take the syllabus for pre as well as for mains. Be thorough with the syllabus. Then collect 10 years question papers both for pre as well as mains. Analyze them very nicely. After this analysis, you have to think nicely why you want to become an IAS officer. Not just before personality test, before beginning your preparation. That is quite important, because since this part is very tricky and rough, in your darkest period, if you know the exact reason to be here, then definitely you will not be tense. You can hold your nerves. So you have to know the exact reason why you are here. Suppose if you want to serve the society, if you impact maximum number of lives possible, or if you want to help the poor, if you want to help women, if you want to help the minorities, you should be very clear with that particular idea. Even in my real life, since I didn't appear any other exam, and even I didn't appear for state PCS, and I didn't do MSc physics, so there were so much pressures, criticisms, and even from my parents. They do question me many a times, but I was very happy with my approach, because I was very clear with myself what I want to do in my life. So for every aspirant, before starting your preparation, please be very clear why you are here. Then again, in sum up, for pre, maximum practice, especially MCQs. For mains, maximum writing practice, and for personality test, maximum speaking. But while speaking, you should be very sincere, you should be very balanced, and you should be very relevant. Then definitely you can score very nicely. And after all, this exam is not very tough. Process is tough. If the exam is very tough, do you think a graduate with 22 years old can top this exam in her first attempt? So that means if you find a particular strategy, and if you are very clear that a simple graduate can top this exam, then definitely you will be very ready with your mental preparation. So please begin mentally. then for other things it will be very easy. And again, in UPSC preparation, there is no such thing called failures or success. These are all temporary. Even in my case, when I got 167th rank, I thought I should not get IAS so that I can reappear again to be within top 250 or so like that. But luckily I got IAS now, so I will not have a chance to reappear again. That means you all aspirants have the chance to top this exam. After this exam, you will not have that particular chance. You will miss that chance. Now this is the time to prepare. If you prepare sincerely, then definitely no one can stop you. This exam is about sincerity. This exam is about approach. This exam is about discipline. This exam is all about dedication. Suppose many successful candidates will come and inspire you, motivate you, but it will be of short term. But if you know the exact reason why you are here, you can dedicate your whole life or 3 years or 4 years for this exam. So more than motivation, you have to know the exact reason for dedicating for this particular exam. And let me tell you, if you pretend to become an IAS officer, or if you behave like an IAS officer, definitely that will be reflected in your preparation. And again, for time management, since it is very crucial, let me speak something on time management. Most important thing is, whatever you do, whatever you study, that should be of quality, not in quantity terms. It doesn't matter whether you read 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours in a day. The most important thing is there must be consistency. There must be no break. Suppose if a student studies 10 hours in one day, 5 hours in another day, 15 hours in another day, definitely it will be of no use. So at least please study 6 hours, 7 hours every day. That is more important. And then definitely we don't have a tendency to think nicely. Suppose if you spend 30 minutes every day before sleeping for a week or for a month or so, you can take a Xerox copy of yourself. Suppose if you think, oh, what did I do in the morning? What did I do in coaching class? What did I do in the evening? Then definitely for each day, for each week, for each month, if you think nicely 30 minutes before you sleep, then you will know what are supposed to be done, what are supposed not to be done as an aspirant. Many times, even for myself, while preparing, I did 70 to 80% of things which are not required to be done by an aspirant. That means every aspirant should know what not to do. Even while preparing also, we have a tendency to buy many books from the market and we will read all those irrelevant stuffs that will consume our time, our energy, our money and everything, who knows. So you have to know what to do, especially what not to do. This is important for time management. And again, suppose personally I don't have a habit to read 10 hours every day. So considering my strength and weaknesses, I form a group with my friends who are preparing sincerely for this exam. Through this group discussion, I save a lot of time. We used to divide topics. Some of my good friends, they prepare another topics like IR, academics and current affairs. I prepare other subjects. So when we discuss in points, key points. So we save time, we exchange our views, over and above we motivated each other. This is important. Group discussion. Otherwise, if your group members are not sincere, it will be time consuming rather than time managing. So you have to understand, you have to know what to do even while forming a group also. So group management, and then again 30 minutes thinking before you sleep. Again, whenever you read, even for a single sentence, it must be of quality. Focus on quality rather than on quantity. And then joining test series is very crucial, because even for me, I joined 2 test series for pre, GS score and ALS, and 3 test series for mains, ALS, vision and Baiju. So because of that test series, there are many advantages. First, I can maintain speed. I can enhance my speed while writing in UPSC. Second, that provides a conducive environment for competition with other aspirants. Conducive environment. and I can realize my weaknesses. Which topics I am not covering, which topics I need to focus. So what to focus, what not to focus, you can comprehend while joining test series. And after all, test series is just like a mock drill for UPSC real exams. So test series is very important. If you don't have time to go for test series, you can collect question sets from market and you can solve in your place. And even for, suppose if you solve 3 test series in a day for mains, it will be extremely easy to solve 2 tests in UPSC hall. Suppose for paper 2 and for paper 4 GS paper, since it is in the evening session, I didn't have a tendency to write nicely. We feel more or less for us a laziness in second paper. So now if you can write 3 tests in a day, it will be extremely easy to write 2 tests in UPSC hall. You can score nicely in paper 2 and paper 4. You can think nicely in paper 2 and paper 4. Even for writing also, if you have a habit, it will be easy. So test series is very crucial. And again, for current affairs, we have a tendency to collect everything from market. We are selfish beings. Normally we think if we read more, we can score more. But even if you prepare 5 years, there is no guarantee that you can top this exam. Even if you prepare 6 months sincerely, you can top this exam. So this is not about lengthy preparation. It's all about approach, it's all about strategy, it's all about smartness. So at the end, what I want to say is, this exam is all about smartness. This is not about hard work. If hard work should be the key, definitely, even in animal kingdom, donkey will rule. But this is not the case. So smartness is the key. As an aspirant, you have to know what not to do. What things are required not to be done by an aspirant. This is crucial. Personally, I spend 70% of my preparation for those things which are not required to be done as an aspirant. Even while reading books also, I used to read a lot. But now when I look back, many books are irrelevant for this particular exam. So you should know what not to do. And finally, all the very best. Now since you are going to give pre after 2 months, you may be nervous. If you are nervous today, that means you are on the right track. This is quite natural. Don't be more tense thinking you are nervous. If you are nervous, that means you are on the right track. If you want to win the race, then definitely first you have to be on the track first. So if you are nervous, this is quite natural. I was nervous before pre, before mains, before personality test. So it is an evidence. So please don't be tense, please remain calm, please do focus on environment, please solve some MCQ questions, and 1 month before the exam, please don't read anything new, please do maximum revision. Revision will make all the difference near the exam. Even for notes making, suppose you have 20 notebooks to revise, but it is extremely tough to revise 20 notebooks in 1 month. Suppose in each notebook there are 100 answers. So for each answer, you have to find the key points. Suppose draft policy of intellectual property rights. For this particular policy, there may be 5 key points. So you can reduce their 200 words, one answer, into 5 points. That means in 1 page, you can write 5 answers, only the key points. So for revision, you can use these key points. And even in the exam also, you will remember only the key points, not the exact answer what you wrote before. So for notes making, it is crucial to remember the key points. That will save time, that will enhance your revision. So now, since pre is within 2 months, please do focus on solving MCQs. Please do revise nicely. Please don't read something new, and please focus on environment. Ultimately, all the best. Thank you all.